Right, welcome everyone to another episode of Love Island Cast USA. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris. Great to speak to you again about a bit of Love Island USA. And we had a bit of a bombshell tonight, didn't we? So a little bit different from what we predicted yesterday, but still a bit of a shocker in the end.
It was. It's got to be said, the tension was built up very well, actually. Emily stood there for what was an age to pick. And we had the old square going on, didn't we? We saw Eric, we saw Weston, we saw Kelsea. Well, more than a triangle, really. And then we had Kira as well. And Kira was looking funny. Because when she did a speech saying, this person, I thought...
Emily, wasn't it? She was pulling some right faces there.
Oh, God. And honestly, I thought... Genuinely, I was thinking she's going to pick Kira here. She's going to, because she didn't. Everyone, all the other girls had said this boy, and she said this person, and I was thinking, aye, it's going to be a right bombshell going down here. But poor old Eric's been shunted off into the Love Island history books now, and when she picked Weston, I'm being honest now, Dave. I'm not liking Weston. You know, I think he's
coming off a bit of a tool, isn't he? I'm with you. We said yesterday, didn't we? You know, Yeaman got a bit of stick for being a player, but I think Weston's essentially said, hold my beer.
Yeah, without a doubt, because what I think he's relying on is the fact that he's this country guy, country and western fan, and he grew up on a farm and all this, like the proper sort of cliched American.
It's not. Let's not say American because it is pure Texas boy, isn't he? Because I don't. When you went to New York last year, you didn't see anyone walking around in double denim and a cowboy hat. I wouldn't have thought. So he's definitely regionalised. Just in case we're in any doubt, he's going round with the old Stars and Stripes Apollo Creed shorts as well. It's just. I guess at least it's not a Confederate flag.
Yeah.
Stay clear of that one. But
all right, yeah.
He's just a bit of a tool, isn't he? And I was a bit surprised later as well. What was it? He said he slept with 83 people, but he dated them all. Yeah, all right, mate.
Yeah. Okay, mate. I mean, I do think one thing he does, he's very clever at. He plays the whole nice guy act with all the girls, and he has this sort of innocence about him, and for some reason they all just take it in. I mean, I don't necessarily think I'm not no oil painting, but he's definitely not the nicest looking guy in there. Looks don't mean everything for everyone, but there's just a bit of a weasel side to him now that I'm really not liking, because look, Dave, I hammered some of the people in the UK Love Island, men and women, for some of the way they acted, and they didn't get a free pass from me. So Weston at the moment, he might turn out, and him and Emily, it's the love of his life, but he was then there on the bed with Kira, dropping it in there. And to be fair to Kira, she fucked off. And then Alexandra went, I think she might want a bit of a threesome. I'm thinking, well, I'd definitely be tuning in for that one if this one got on board. It's not right. And I've got to call him out and say at the moment he's been a bit of a prick.
Yeah, I mean, he absolutely is. And one of the things we said with the UK one as well, and I'd heard other people say, is that, and this is from a female perspective, that the worst kind of guys are the ones who think they're nice guys, but really aren't. And we saw a few examples of that in the UK, Bill. I'd never heard that term before. And it made me question myself. I'm like, well, I think I'm a nice guy. How do you know if you think you're a nice guy but you're actually a douchebag? I don't know. Maybe there's a test, but I know that definitely Weston, he does think he's a nice guy. He's playing up at it, but he is a tool and he is a player, 100%. And I genuinely, just before Kelsea basically said, I'm off, I did get that feeling, because the order of the coupling matters sometimes, doesn't it? So, before the recoupling, we'll speculate a bit about how they'll pair up. But of course, if there's a bit of a triangle going on there, then whoever gets first dibs, leaves the third wheel a bit exposed there. So when she was stood up there, I was thinking, well, I don't think I remember a single conversation with Kelsea and anyone else. As soon as she came into the villa, she's pretty much been coupled up and made it very clear she's going after Weston. But honestly, mate, I wanted to reach through the screen and give her a big hug because,
yeah,
it was heartbreaking, and you could hear I was getting frustrated yesterday because you could tell she wanted Weston, but she was being so diplomatic about it and so nice about it. She's like, look, you only get one chance at life, and this is a bit do as I say, not as I do, because I'm not saying I do that either, but get out there, put it out there. And if you lose, okay, fair enough. You've given it your all. But I think she just kind of meekly gave up on this one. And I just thought, you know what? She is so sweet. And she said as well, she's walking out. I think it's more that she doesn't see herself coupled up with anyone else. But she said, she doesn't want to lead anyone else on. And although from anyone else, I wouldn't really buy that 100%. From her, she does seem to be this kind of selfless person. And I do think, in life, she just has to be a little bit more selfish. And I was a bit, again, annoyed at Weston that after she'd left, he was saying like, oh, well, I could just see, I need a bit of excitement in my life. And, I could see with her, I'd just be getting home and she'd just want to watch movies. I'm like, Weston, you're describing my perfect woman there. Yeah. Fuck off, you arsehole. You just fucking broke her heart, you bastard.
No, I agree. And I think one thing I would say about it is total respect to Kelsea. Absolutely. She said it in yesterday's episode. She was on the money when she said, you just explore that. I have no problem. It's part of the game. Yes, it hurts, but that's what we're in here for. No problem if there's a real connection. Weston's reaction afterwards was pathetic. Oh, I'll just carry this basket. She's like, no, go with her. I'm fine. I'm done. Totally come across as with a load of class, to be honest, Dave. They look like there's no ulterior motive. Very much reminiscent of what should have happened in the UK Love Island with Michael when he carried on staying in there. She absolutely wore a heart on her sleeve, and for me, absolutely class what she did. And again, Weston, though, it's just like, mate, give it up. You've done it. Whether it's right or wrong, you've done it. You stand by your decision. Let the girl go. That's the end of it. And I just thought the whole demeanour and everything, and the way she did it, she owned that episode, and fully respect from me, Dave, because I just think it's sad to say that I'm feeling that already. And we called out Yeaman, and you even said it yesterday. I think Weston's more of it, and he is, Dave. He's just an absolute clown at the moment. So, I mean, he might redeem himself. These things can change in the space of an episode, but some of the stuff he's been saying, like to Zach, and saying to Zach, oh, you're just all about, Elizabeth, he's the type of guy who'd only come and meet us if he's with Elizabeth. And it's like, so the next minute he's in the fucking shower with her, washing her down. It's like, come on.
Yeah. And it's funny you picked up on that point, because that is exactly what I thought. I thought, you twat, you were calling out Zach for the exact same thing that you're doing now. And you're just saying, oh, well, he's a young guy, but I've made these mistakes in the past. And then he goes and does exactly the same. It's like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah, it's not correct at all. It's not. And he reached what he sowed, Dave. Maybe Emily will actually go off with Kira, and then he'll be in that situation where he's going to have to do it himself. So hopefully he does get these just desserts.
That would be a twist, wouldn't it? Now I'm going to go out on a limb here, Chris, and I'm potentially on some dangerous ground, but that's never stopped me before. So Kira, I believe, is truly bisexual, right? And I don't know what it's like to be bisexual. I can try and understand, I can try and empathize, but I don't know what it's like myself. But I don't fully buy that Emily is. I buy that she's played around with women and stuff, but I don't really believe that she's bisexual. She just comes across that she's trying to be a little bit fun, a little bit crazy. And I said this about one of the girls in the UK villa when I think it was Maura, wasn't it? She was still making a play for Tommy at the time. And she was just like, oh, I slept with 5 guys. Oh, and a woman. Just to put it out there, because guys go a little bit crazy for that. So I'm not fully buying that Emily really is.
I think they call it a lipstick lesbian, Dave, where it's
really?
like, yeah, where basically on a night out, they'll kiss the friend, or they'll snog a friend, and it's all like a big laugh sort of thing. Oh, I've kissed the girl, but it's not. They're not genuine. It's more of an attention. I could be wrong there. Someone's going to absolutely nail me to the cross if I say that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it means. But yeah, I don't buy it. She set it up really well and created drama. And also she gets the cameras on her. So maybe it was a game plan all along. I don't think they're going to last long, her and Weston. I really don't. In the actual villa itself, I think they could become a bit of a hated couple, to be honest, after what's happened. Because Kira's already putting the boot in with Alexander and Elizabeth anyway. So I think that it's going to turn a few people against, not necessarily the guys, but I think the girls will. So it...
Sorry. It just made me laugh that, like, you know, Kira was in the diary room and she was saying, like, oh, I'm just going to be a good friend now and, you know, give Weston his space. But she was just bitching to everyone else about him. And like you say, Alexandra was saying, oh, maybe they're trying to coerce you into a threesome with them. And it's like, let's not being a friend just, you know, going off and gossiping about someone else. So I think she's... she is going to step away from that couple. But I've got to tell you, Chris, not as bad as Weston, but I kind of think Kira's getting her just desserts there. I don't really have any sympathy for her, to be honest.
No, she's played the game, Dave. We know what she did to Cashel. And Eric as well, to be fair. She played Eric slightly, didn't she? She was quick to make the decision on recoupling and then obviously realised she made a mistake. And she's now gone with Gerard, who we've not even seen him speak, I don't think, other than in the diary room. They've not focused on him at all. So I hope he gets a bit of airtime because it just looks odd that she went with him.
It was just like, I'm going to couple with one of the other two that isn't Eric. You know, just in case, Eric, you think there's anything going on here, I'm going to tell you there's absolutely not. And so he gave in his very calm tone again, didn't he? It's like, oh, it's okay. I've got a lock of your hair anyway. It's just, psycho. So, yeah, it was a bit weird that Kira coupled up with him, but I think it was probably a coin toss between the two who were left that weren't Eric. So, Chris, what do you reckon to Cairo and Ray then?
Oh, yeah, we want to go in the hideaway. Yeah, oh, yeah, me. No, fuck off. Go in there and don't come out because I don't care about you.
You know what? I mean, maybe this is just me and I'm a cynical bastard, but when they say, you know, couples choose, you know, a couple to go in the hideaway, the first person who jumps out of their chair and goes, me, that is the last person in my vote.
Yeah.
I will do anything. I will pick everyone else before I pick you. But, you know, they probably just went with the path of least resistance. And to be honest, Chris, actually, if I look at it this way, it gets rid of her for a night. Maybe I may have to rethink my standard modus operandi there. But, yeah, I mean, it's super annoying. But they seem obviously loved up. I think they may have gone a bit further than the Do-Bit Society.
Yeah, well, there was a frog, Dave, conveniently moving its mouth very quick. So I'm not sure whether it was a do bits or do a lot, but there's definitely more that we didn't see. Anyway, they definitely alluded to that with the editing.
Yeah, but you know what? I kind of feel a bit sorry for Ray here because he said something. I think it was after. He says, "Oh, you know, she's so happy all the time." I'm like, right. Again, we only see her when she's that kind of manic Cairo, don't we? So it's all an act. You know, she can't maintain that 100% of the time. It is not normal for someone to be happy all the time. Now, I may say that, Chris, just because I'm a miserable bastard, but I do think, you know, in order to really have that deep connection with someone, you kind of have to have a few arguments. You have to, you know, really kind of not just have fun. It's about more than that. All right, you know, you can't be arguing all the time, but you know what I mean? It's like, if he genuinely thinks that she's fun and happy all the time, then he's way off base. Yeah.
She's on a TV show at the end of the day. She's on the TV show. I think she could be a nightmare, Dave. That's just my opinion, everyone. I'm not saying, I don't know her personally, but I think behind that smile reaps Kathy Bates, Dave.
Kathy Bates? Who's Kathy Bates?
Misery.
Oh, fucking hell. I was thinking Mrs. Bobbitt.
Well, I don't know who come off worse, but yeah.
I think I'd sooner hobble a bit than walk around without a schlong. But no, scandalous. I'm sure she wouldn't do that. I think she would cut up all his clothes and throw them out the house, though. I think she could go to that state length.
Yes. Well, it depends if she's cut it off first, Dave. It might not be a length.
Yeah, a much shorter length. But yeah, so I don't know. Good luck to them. She seemed a bit confused yesterday about whether it was Ray or Anton, but I guess the voting kind of made that clear. And to be fair, in the recoupling, she seemed pretty certain as well, didn't she? She didn't give it a little bit of a misdirection, as we've seen with some of the other shows in the past. So, yeah, listen, good luck to them. If she is genuinely 1 in 7 billion and is happy all the time, good luck to them. But being a little bit cynical here.
Can't disagree, Dave. Now, if you want to get in contact with this show, on Twitter at Love Island Cast, or if you want to email us, we've had plenty of emails recently. Big up to Andy again, who sent us the email on yesterday's show. Email us at theloveislandcast@gmail.com. And if you do like the show, please get on your podcast catching app and drop us a review. We'd really appreciate it. It just helps the show grow. Now, Dave.
You know what, Chris? Yesterday, I fought Dylan's corner a little bit. I said, maybe he's not that kind of jock. And, he seems like a fairly switched-on guy. And today, he's just absolutely proved me wrong, because there are a few times tonight I could have swore he'd had about 10 pints. So all I'll say is, Chris,